Do you get home from the hairdresser with a bag full of products and get ready to use it the next day and you've completely forgotten what she's taught you or he's taught you and told you how to use them? Stay tuned. I'll help you with that. So today we're going to talk about, or rather remove, maybe some frustration that you might experience when you get home from the hairdressers, or you've purchased some product that has been recommended to you, and you get home and you've got this product here and you're not quite sure what order you put it in. So today I'm going to kind of shed a little bit of light on that. That might help you. Okay. So the first thing you want to know, let's say they recommend that you use a leave-in conditioner. Maybe you color your hair or highlight it, and it's been compromised a little bit. So you need to put something in there to protect it and to continue hydration after you shampoo and condition in the shower. So when you get out of the shower, you've cleansed the hair. It has nothing in it. So the first thing that you would want to do is towel dry your hair, but this is when you would put your leave-in conditioner on it, okay? They can come in forms of a spray. This one is a spray. This is an Aquage product by Omega, a moisture mist. It's an awesome leave-in conditioner. You just mist that into the hair and comb it through. Your handy-dandy comb. Always want to comb product through so that you get a nice even distribution from scalp to ends. And usually when you use a leave-in conditioner, it's meant for the mid shaft down. You don't have to worry about rubbing it into the scalp. Some people get very nervous about using a leave-in conditioner because they're worried about their scalp getting a little oilier. You don't need to apply it to the scalp. If you put it on the mid shaft to the ends and comb it through, you're going to be just fine. You'll get nice distribution. But this is the time that the conditioner is designed to kind of penetrate a little bit under that top layer of hair and to kind of really fill in your hair, almost to think about a sponge. When you put, you have a dry sponge, if you set it on the counter and there happens to be some drops of something, it's going to absorb it. You kind of want to think of your ends of your hair and some of your mid-shaft kind of like that. So if you put a leave-in conditioner in it first, it goes in and kind of absorbs that and kind of fills in the gaps, so that when you start to put your product on it, the hair's not going to absorb it trying to get any moisture from it. It's going to stay on the surface of the hair where it's designed to deal with that. Okay. So the next thing is a lot of times hairdressers will recommend an oil to put on top of the hair for nice shine. Now, I don't recommend a leave-in conditioner for everybody. So if you don't have a leave-in conditioner and you're recommended some drops to put in the hair, this is the time to put them on. Because what you're trying to do here again is you're trying to seal the hair shaft down and create a nice pellet. If you think of your hair as it's like, I don't know, fabric. We think of it as fabric. You kind of want to seal it and make it a nice, even fabric for you to work on. That's where this would come in. This is actually Aquage, a silkening oil treatment. I really like this one because it's some nice drops. It's not heavy. I can actually, when you put some drops in your hand, a good way to know if it's going to be really heavy on your hair is if you apply it in your hands and rub it through and leave it on a little bit. A really good oil that doesn't have too heavy of a silicone or has a higher grade of a silicone, your skin's going to eventually absorb that. But this is what you're going to put on first, or if you're using a leave-in conditioner, right after. And here again, you want to apply this mid-shaft down. Press it into the hair because it's designed to lay that outside layer of your hair shaft down. We've discussed that before. It looks like shingles on a roof, on a tree stump is what your hair looks like. And you want that outside layer to lay flat so you get a beautiful shine to the hair so that the light bounces off of the hair shaft instead of filtering through. So if you can picture it like that, it kind of helps a little bit. So once you've applied this to the hair, there again, make sure you take a fine-tooth comb and comb that product all the way through the hair so that you get a nice even distribution from here all the way down to those ends. And here again, if you tend to have an oilier scalp, don't apply it to the scalp. This is not, a lot of times we'll take product and we'll just start rubbing it on the hair. You've got to make sure that when you apply it, you're deliberate with it. You're putting it in your hands, you're rubbing it through your hands, you're pressing it into the hair and then combing it through. I get so many clients on my chair that has really fine hair and they're afraid it's going to weigh it down. And just use a little bit a little bit goes a really long way. It'll just do what you want it to do, and it won't weigh it down. And sometimes it takes some trial and error to find what works best for you. Okay, so now we've prepared our canvas. All right, so the next step is when we go back to talking about fabric, I want you to get fabric in your mind now, because now we've created a nice canvas, almost like silk. It's nice and shiny, but it's very flexible and movable, and we want it to get nice volume, or we want to round brush it. So this is where we kind of change the texture. So this is where you're going to put on either a mousse or a gel. Maybe it's a spray gel. This is where you're going to apply the product. And if you want volume, this is where you're going to spray it in at the scalp and apply it from scalp to ends. And here again, you want to comb it through as well with your comb so you get a nice distribution. All right. So then what you've done is take it, like if when we're thinking about it, started out as we've got a nice shiny satiny hair shaft. But satin, if you think about it, doesn't really move. I mean, you can't really make it wrinkle. But linen, if you bring it to a linen state, it does. You know, linen, you know, I don't like to buy a lot of linen because it wrinkles. But in hair, you want it to get to that stage so that it'll first grip your brush when you're round brushing. Or if you're using a flat brush, it's going to grip the brush so you get a little bit of tension. It's just like ironing. You need a little bit of tension on there to remove the wrinkles. And then it also gives a little bit of texture. I know a lot of times I'll hear, gosh, the second day I got up and I threw my glue dryer through it and I got more body. That's because your hair has some natural textures, a little bit of dirtiness to it, so it wants to do something. And that's what your styling products are doing. They're changing the texture of the hair so that you're able to get it to mind and do something, okay? Now, when you're hairspraying, if you want it to be full, don't just spray it on top. Take the hair and kind of lift it and kind of spray it at the roots and let it dry for a minute, and make sure that when you apply it, this is a Quage finishing spray, I love it. But when you go through to apply this, you want to make sure the bottle when you're spraying is the length of the bottle away from the hair when you're spraying it, so you don't get it too wet. But also you just kind of lift the hair up and spray and let it fall into the hair. Then replace it where you want it so that you get that support inside, and then finish off on the ends. All right? So hopefully that shed a little bit of light and helped you with the what do I do with the product my stylist sent me home with. Thank you so much for watching today.